This episode of GameByte is brought to you by our friends over at Jinx.com and, us here on GameByte. Yes! Jinx.com, get yourself 10% off of all your gamer and geek swag when you head on over to their website. When you check out, use the promo code QuitStalling_366 to save yourself a whole lot of money on merchandise. Yes, the lovely merch that you can get over at Jinx.com is going to be 10% off when you use our promo code QuitStalling_366 at checkout. Whether you want a Shroud shirt, because FPSs are a thing now, and Shroud is one of the most popular FPS streamers out there. I think he's making the transition to Call of Duty. So I said duty. And of course, you have all your favorite Blizzard titles because BlizzCon is in 2 weeks, guys. BlizzCon is a huge thing. Yeah. If you want to represent, you could get it at the Blizzard Gear Store. You could get it at 10% off on Jinx.com. Use our promo code QuitStalling_366 at checkout. Welcome everyone to your weekly bargain bin hunting show. GameByte is your podcast for a lighthearted take on all gamer and gaming news, views, reviews, and so much more. I am your host. I am number one on my own Spotify playlist, Harold Sylvester. Hello. And I'm broadcasting live from the Quit Stalling Media studio, and I do have co-hosts with me today. I'm not alone anymore, or ever, actually, because these guys won't leave me alone, with good reason. Thankfully, they won't leave me alone. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got co-hosts, and we've got a special guest here today. We'll get to him in just a second. But you know what? We always start off with the guy I was hosting with last week. Thank you for being there last week for me, buddy. But let's start off with the guy who was missing last week. Some would call him the Jack Black of Overwatch. Some would call him a failed attempt at making Manny Pacquiao in Black Desert Online. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Insta DZ himself. It's Diego Z.
Oh my God, and that's nice on the Manny Pacquiao thing. I keep. Alright, it's out there anyway. What's up, everyone? Glad to be back. Glad to be on the show. Of course.
Good to have you back, man.
Well, how's the usual spiel on the other side of the spectrum? The guys on that side of the screen.
You have to stop saying spectrum because you're implying mental disability.
No, is that what it means? I meant spectrum in terms of like cosmic or like the color of the rainbow kind of thing.
Well, it fits anyway. He's Quit Stalling's resident tavern keeper and former child star, welcoming you into his inn. That's not an innuendo. It's the Fury bot himself, Mick de Guzman. How you doing, Mick?
I'm really loving that intro. I love it. And I love how some people have been asking me, oh, you were a child star? Oh, I can't find it on YouTube. I'm like, no, it's not on YouTube. Oh, if you know people in ABS, then maybe you'll find. And also in GMA. So, yeah. Just Filipino channels. But yeah, good evening to everybody. Good evening to our special guest, and of course, Harold and Diego. How you guys doing? I missed you guys. Oh, I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, no, I saw you last week, so it's fine.
Yeah, I know.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right, well, it's good to have you on the show today, Mick. Guys, we have a special guest today. He streams. He makes apparel. Some have purchased that apparel from all points of the Philippines, and a lot are inquiring from around the globe. Hopefully he can set that up for us really soon. Ladies and gentlemen, he's a man with one name, like Cher, like Ronaldo. It's Jams! TM. How you doing, Jams?
What's up, guys? Doing pretty good. How you guys doing?
Doing great.
Good. Good to hear.
Excited
to be here. Hey, guys.
Sorry,
what's up, chat?
Your fans are pretty crazy right now. Your fans are pretty crazy right now. Calm down. Calm down.
There's enough to go around, boys and girls.
It's good to see you, Jams. Thanks for coming on the show today. We appreciate it very much.
Sure. Thanks for having me, man.
It's our pleasure.
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, man. Okay, so, guys, we'll talk about who Jams is and what he does specifically. But before we get to that, at the start of every show, it wouldn't be GameByte if we didn't ask everyone at home what they've been playing. Guys, what are you playing over in the chat? Let us know. But let's start off with my co-host. Kick us off, guys. Who wants to go first? DZ, man, what have you been playing? I know you've been playing a lot of certain games.
What is that? The background music for this segment?
Yeah,
no, it's not.
That was the bedroom music for the segment.
Oh, what have I been playing?
I forgot to loop the first one. Sorry.
thought it was like an ABS or ABS CBN GMA segment tune or something. But anyway, what have I been playing? I found a new toilet game, guys. I found a new one. I'm pretty happy with it. It's called Stampede, not Rodeo. That was my bad on the notes, but it's called Stampede. It's
Okay.
It's just it's one of those nonsensical games where you just literally just click and that's it. You know, remember Mr. Gun, Mick? That game we both played.
Yeah, Mr. Gun.
It's one of those things where you just all you have to do is just tap the screen and that's it. So the game is you're a cowboy running a zoo, and then you have to then when you catch more animals by going into the savannah, what you do is like you ride on them, and then before they get angry, you have to jump to another stampeding animal and tame that one, and just keep hopping from angry animal from one after the other. And it's like you can go really fast because like if you get on an ostrich, he runs really fast, and then if you get on an elephant, it just smashes through everything, all the rocks. And then the best is the giraffe because like when I know it's like really ridiculous when you talk about it, but yeah, when you get on a giraffe and you ride it for too long, it ends up throwing you off its back, and so you have to make sure you land on something else. So yeah, so the more animals you tame, the more your zoo grows. It's so stupid. Because the reason why I'm playing it, because I want to get to the end game. Because from what I know, you can tame dinosaurs at one point. So that's where the ridiculousness comes in. Yeah,
dinosaurs.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, so it's a toilet game, dude. It's like right now, it's like I love playing it. Like my John sessions last 3 times longer.
John Sessions.
John. In a rating of 1 to 5 hours in the toilet playing the game, what would you give it?
Dude, 4, man.
4 hours?
Yeah, like almost 5, really. Anytime, because you can play it offline. That's the best part.
Is the highest
score. That is the best part.
Even in public bathrooms, dude. I you know how people wait in line for you to finish taking a dump. Like, okay, you know the one bathroom in Alabang Town Center in front of CPK. One toilet.
There's always one toilet there.
I took my time
lining up.
And I felt bad because like, oh my god, I forgot people were waiting for me.
Because you were just playing it.
Isn't that like a pay toilet too?
No. The pay toilets like a few meters on the side. I think.
Okay.
Near the
I was gonna say like
that's better.
All those guys, like if they had to pay for it and then wait for you for
man.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah,
although from what I've seen, there are lines in the pay toilet as well. So.
Ooh. That's like 5 toilets. Oh wow.
Yeah.
They should have more pay toilets then.
They should.
They really should.
But yeah, other than that, Black Ops, and like I haven't touched Overwatch since. That's how much.
Wow.
That's how much fun I've been having, and
that's awesome.
I guess it goes to show you that I needed a break from Overwatch in terms of playing, but I still keep track. I still, we still do shoutcasts. I still keep up with what's happening with the Overwatch League and World Cup. But as for playing it and just getting my ass whooped in competitive, I could use a break, even if it's the Halloween season.
Oh, but what about the skins, man?
I'm just gonna buy it. I just want Hammond's. I just want the pumpkin skin of Hammond, and then I'm good.
Oh, the pumpkin skin, the one where he looks like a demented little hamster from hell. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, that's it for me. How about you, Mick? What have you been playing?
Oh, before we get to Mick, Human Panda in the chat said he's been playing Call of Duty Black Ops 4 as well. He's been playing the zombie mode.
Zombies.
Oh yeah, we're trying to add. I'll add
Human
Panda on the.
Yeah, I'll probably add him as well after.
Yeah, I remember Human Panda in our Discord was like, "Oh, it's so hard to find people to play zombies with." I was like, "Oh, I think Diego and Sorbs play Call of Duty 4." And Diego's like, "Yeah, Human Panda, you should try and queue in Asia." instead of offering to be like, "Hey, dude, we could play with you." He's like, "You know what? Try playing in Asia. You might find someone to play there."
Why do you think I asked for his battle tag?
Hey, wow.
The poor guy was like, "Hey guys, I can't find anyone to play with." Diego's like, "Just go to Asia."
Just go to Asia. A lot of us are there already.
Why do you think I asked for his battle tag? Hello.
You should have done a personal message then. You should have slid into his DMs, if you know what I mean, man.
Oh, you abandoned Monster in the chat.
Yeah, but Carl Lobster though in the chat says he's been playing 2 Point Hospital. That
I've
is a
heard of
good game
that.
on Steam.
I've
It's like
heard of that.
Sim Theme Park and Sim Theme Hospital. All those the Sims from back then, 90s. Yeah, this is like a reincarnation of it, and it looks really nice. I'm just waiting for it to go on sale. I'm just a cheapskate. I spent too much on games.
Dude, this looks like fun. Let me bring up a review video.
Yeah.
Just for fun, so people see. I think this is from IGN. This looks like fun.
It does look like fun. It reminds me of Academia, Academy Simulator or School Simulator. It's one of the indie games we interviewed back in ESGS 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This looks like like you mentioned. This looks like Theme Hospital slash Sim Hospital from back in the day. It's pretty cool.
Looks pretty clean. Looks so dope. Oh,
Let's
Leah girl in the chat. Hey, Leah girl. Oh, wait, what's happening now?
You were talking and then you stopped.
Oh, I stopped. Oh, sorry. Okay, so yeah, what have I been playing? I've been playing a bit of Monster Hunter World. Last week, well, a few days ago, they just launched their Capcom X. Oh, sorry, Mega Man X Monster Hunter World promo where you can actually do this one quest where it gives you a Mega Man ticket, and if you get 5, you can actually make the Palico armor. So it's basically an 8-bit Mega Man. Your Palico, your pet, is now an 8-bit Mega Man with a Buster rifle. So it's pretty cool. I got it. I had to get it. because I'm a big Mega Man fan. So that's pretty fun. Aside from that, aside from that, I've been doing a bit of just a little bit of AC Odyssey. Of course, as of last week when I was talking about how good the game is, it's still pretty good. Just that there's another game that's just way better now that's taking so much of my time, and it's of course Call of Duty, Black Ops 4. Yeah, it's just so addicting, especially when it was last weekend was the ×2 weekend, so I just played nonstop. So I finally hit
everyone
prestige.
leveled up so much faster than people who had work that weekend.
Yeah, everyone in work was like, oh no, I just want to play. Oh man, and we're all like prestige now, and then everyone else, like my friends who were like a week ahead, they had work in the weekend. When they got back and then they saw, oh, you're playing now. What the hell? You're already prestige 1?
Wait, so what's the advantage of leveling up in Black Ops? Do you get cosmetics? Do you get stronger? Because from what I know, everyone's on an equal playing field.
It's you could say that. I mean, like, it's just a preference in the gun. So as you progress, you get certain things like cards. So
the most you get is like attachments,
weapons, attachments, yeah, all that stuff.
Okay.
Well, you unlock the guns first.
You
right?
unlock the guns first, and then you level up the guns
you level up.
by using it. Then you get unlocks, and then you have to do it like 3 times to max it out. Oh, sorry, 2 times. You have to fill the gauge twice.
Okay, so leveling up still has you still get an advantage from leveling up.
Yeah, there is an advantage, and there's and when you reach like when you finally hit prestige, you get this thing called a permanent token. So when you get a permanent token, you can basically exchange that you can basically use that to unlock a specific weapon of your choice, the one that you liked from the very first 55, from the original, like how many guns are there? Like maybe 20, 30, I don't know, from the whole selection, except the basic ones that they unlock in the very start. So when you're able to do that, you get to keep playing it nonstop. So that's pretty cool. I unlocked the 9mm SOG. The 9mm.
So when you unlock it, you can go into the game. You load in.
Yeah,
with the
when
gun.
you restart, you keep the gun, because the thing is when you go to prestige, you go back to level 1, and you have to work your way up to level 55 again, unlocking everything again. But the progression of each gun is different from your character progression.
Oh wow!
Clear so far.
That's
so it's typical for most. I mean, I think they've adopted this about 1 or 2 CODs before, so that's okay.
They definitely added in Black Ops 2.
Oh, Black Ops 2.
I know that.
Black Ops 2.
Yeah.
So I just laughed at how Mick said clear so far.
Clear so far?
Noobs.
Gentlemen.
Is it clear yet?
Gentlemen. Clear so far?
Oh my god. All right. Well, let's talk to our guest. All right, Jams, man, what have you been playing?
Yeah, so I've been playing Black Ops 4 for sure. So much fun, man.
Everybody's playing the game.
It's really, really fun. Yeah, so I've been playing Blackout, a little bit of the multiplayer. I actually I was a beta tester for the multiplayer and I didn't like it. And
Really?
yeah, I didn't like it. And so I started playing it a little bit this week because I just didn't feel like playing Blackout at the time. And I was like, hey, you know, this is fun. Whatever the changes they made from the beta to then, yeah, it became fun for me. So I played a lot of it. I haven't prestiged yet because I haven't played that much of it. But yeah, it was a good time. Then Blackout for sure. I haven't tried zombies yet. I hear it's really good, but I haven't gotten around to zombies just yet. Aside from that, Escape from Tarkov.
Nice.
If you guys don't know what Escape from Tarkov is, it is a hardcore milsim shooter. So the idea is they're trying to make it as authentic as possible. So it's a very low time to kill, meaning you get shot in the face, you're dead.
Oh my
Once by anything. If you get hit in the face once by a pistol, you're dead. So and you lose everything you bring in. So yeah, it goes through a series of wipes as they're updating the game. It is early access. So right now we're pretty late into the current wipe, waiting for the new one. So that means that you're done with all the tasks and everything. You're just kind of fooling around, not really doing anything worthwhile. Just like running meme runs and stuff like that. So, yeah, so I haven't been playing it that much recently, but as soon as the next wipe comes, for sure we'll be playing a lot more of it. And starting the other day, actually, I've been playing World War III, which is a new game that's just gone early access. It's kind of like Battlefield. It's kind of like Battlefield. And it's kind of like Battlefield, but it's a lot cheaper. And
Thank God.
Always crucial.
a lot cheaper.
Always
So
crucial.
So it is priced at $30 abroad, which means it's $15 here, 800 pesos.
Oh man.
So it is
yeah, I
cheap.
forget.
Only thing is that there was a whole bunch of launch issues. They're not a big studio. They're not a huge studio, so they went through a whole bunch of launch issues,
Kind of like
and it only really worse. Worse. On launch day, you couldn't get into the game. Like it would. It goes through. At first, there's a loading screen, then it goes connecting to WW3 servers, and you just get stuck there. And there are people that actually waited for it to connect. They were waiting for like 3 hours, and it didn't work. So that just stabilized like, I don't know, 2 days ago. Yeah, about 2 days ago. So yeah, but that game's a lot of fun. I'm gonna talk about it some more later, but yeah, you guys should check it out for sure. It's really a good time. It's also, but it is very hardcore. Yeah, it's a very low time to kill. Couple shots.
Oh, it's also
you know,
low time.
stuff like-
Okay.
Yeah, so it would probably be considered fairly hardcore by most people. Definitely more hardcore than Battlefield. But it's also a lot more realistic in terms of weapon recoil, gun modifications. And the best part is, so like your soldiers, you can customize what they wear and everything, and their patches, they have a Philippine flag patch.
Oh, so you wear it loud and proud,
Yeah.
don't you?
Nice.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm-
Yeah, we can talk about that some more later, but that game's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
we'd love to.
Yeah. So,
that's fun.
Harold.
Harold, what have you been playing? Haha, I'm first.
Ah, no, I was setting it up.
You snooze, you lose, Vic.
Damn it! I was setting it up really well, okay, because you guys were still speaking.
Okay, so the past week, I've been swamped with work. Diego knows about this, so I'm not gonna bring it up. I'm not gonna bring it up. So I haven't been able to play as much as I wanted to, but I did manage to level one of my alternative characters in World of Warcraft, Harxalot. Yeah, Harxalot.
Harxalot.
Harxalot the Noble. I think I can
Harxalot
show
the Noble.
his name and title. Yeah, Harxalot the Noble. Yeah, as you can see, he's I
Mountain
managed
Paladin.
to finally hit the level cap of 120 this past week. I got him decked out in pretty good looking attire, so I'm pretty happy with that. But aside from that, like me and Diego, we're shoutcasting. I don't know if you guys are aware. We're professional shoutcasters now. And me and Diego last night with JM Torres, we were casting for Play on WASD. If you guys haven't checked it out yet, it's facebook.com/playonwasd, play on WASD. And we had the pleasure of shoutcasting their Overwatch matches, which were super fun. DZ, you and I got to see the local representatives for the tournament, MMK, take on Illuminate Wise, who are, I think, from Thailand. And it was a good match. It was a good not best of. It was a good 4-map set. And unfortunately, our hometown team got swept 4-0. But you know, they still have 3 more matches to go.
Even if it was like, they were swept. Even if MMK was swept, I mean, each map was kind of close. So it was a great show, more than anything.
Definitely, and it was fun. It was fun to do what we do and get paid.
That's the only reason why we're called professionals, because we're getting paid to do it.
And that's the very definition of being a professional. So
yeah. Oh, we got a follow on Twitch. Abdel447.
Thank you so much for the follow.
Thank you for the follow.
Appreciate it. Very, very much. Everyone, if you guys are enjoying the content, just hit the follow button. We're gonna interview Jams in just a second, but if you haven't yet, let us know in the chat what you've been playing recently, and we'll be sure to read it out loud. Jams, when you have your fan club in the chat, Leah Girl, we saw Carl Lobster in the chat.
Yeah.
And we thank you for bringing your fans over there. Uknoy, I think, as well. So yeah, man. Thank you for coming on the show, Jams. It's a pleasure for us to be able to interview you and talk to you about what you do.
Oh, wait.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
Nice.
I appreciate the invite. Yeah, excited to be here. Just want to actually shout out those 3 guys. Those 3 guys are all streamers. They're really cool people.
Yeah.
Leah Girl is actually the one that got me into streaming.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
They're my guildmates. They're my guildmates from Final Fantasy. Yeah.
Oh, really?
That's cool.
Small
Cool.
world.
Yeah.
Small world. But I'm not
Girl.
quite sure who Carl Lobster is. Like, he was asking, "Yo, Fury, do you remember me now?"
He's in fine. I know he's in the same. He plays Final Fantasy with Uknoy and Leah Girl.
Oh,
So-
okay. I'm not quite sure. I don't quite remember.
He's a lobster.
Oh, he's a lobster. Yeah.
He's a lobster.
That's
Is he
all-
wait. Is he that
If you've
streamer that
never
sounds-
seen his stream, he's a lobster.
He's a
for
lobster.
real.
Oh, wait, is he the one that sounds like Skyland Shore? If you guys like,
He has a
people-
very sexy voice.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, actually, Leah and Uknoy were my guildmates in World of Warcraft back in the day.
Nice.
Nice. So is that where you guys met?
Yeah, we met. I raided with them. So I took a break actually during Miss, but during was it? No, it was no. Well, yeah,
Warlords?
Legion. Legion. No, I took a break during not Miss. Well, I did also, but I took a break during Warlords of Draenor. We raided during Cataclysm together.
Ooh.
Yeah, we were
That's some old
Cataclysm
stuff.
and then Legion. Is that old school? I started playing WoW end of vanilla. Then I took a break because I couldn't afford it.
Oh
back
yeah,
then.
tough times back
yeah.
then.
Tough
Tougher
time.
time.
Yeah, then I played Wrath, but then I couldn't afford it again. So no, back then you had to. So there were 2 problems. One is that it was expensive, and the second problem was you could only buy cards at Data Blitz.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
so you would have to, and they'd always sell out. They'd always run out of cards. So yeah, so you go there and be like, "Have you guys restocked?" No, we haven't. Just fuck. Sorry.
I have to wait.
So,
Can I buy
okay.
2? Can I buy 2 just to be sure?
yeah. So so. Anyway, so I through some other friends, I had some guild mates from RF Online who joined their guild back in Cataclysm, and when I came back, there's like, hey, you should join us here. So I transferred over. We
You want to mention
met
the
all
guild
these
name?
people.
Do you want to mention the guild name?
It was Terracotta, and now we are. Oh, I'm not playing World of Warcraft, but now it's the Cool Gang on on Bone Chewer.
Is it cool
TCG.
with a K? Is it cool with a K?
No, it's not that cool. It's not.
Damn it.
It's not K cool. It's just C cool.
See, cool is cool enough in my book.
C cool is cool enough. Absolutely. No, they're a bunch of really cool guys. Yeah. Yeah. They're a lot of fun to play with.
Excellent. Okay, so that's great, and we're glad to have you guys in the chat, and we hope you enjoy the rest of the show, because we're about to dig in. We're about to find out more about jams, because I think I was mentioning this before I got cut off on Discord earlier on. You know, sometimes people can't watch a full 7 hours of a stream, or however long people stream. You know, it ranges quite vastly. So sometimes when they come on a show like this, it's great to get all the information clumped up. So in case you missed something that was said like in minute 3 hour and 10, you know, like you can find it all on the interview. So this would be a great time to do that. So I think, guys, we should talk specifically about jams. Don't you think?
Agreed.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, let's get to it. Let's talk about it. Oh wait, no, wrong one. Here we go.
I memorized.
Welcome to the end.
There we go. Welcome to the end, jams, and Welcome to the End is brought to you by the Quitslang Geekcast. Yes, check out the Quitslang Geekcast, out now on Spotify and so much more. You can check us out on YouTube, on Twitch. Next week, we will be broadcasting on a regular Tuesday schedule, 11 a.m. Diego, I'm going to be dead again by the time we do Play on WASD's stuff at night, our Overwatch casting, because like yesterday, I'm going to have a Quitslang Geekcast at 11 a.m. on Tuesday. So check it out, guys. Me, and I think next week it's just Derek O'Brien, Sensei Humor himself. The two of us will be talking about all things all things geek on the Quitslang Geekcast. Check it out, guys. And you know, if you want to listen when you're on your commute, it's on all the podcatchers out there now: Google Play, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Pocket Casts, the Apple Podcasts app, and of course Spotify, YouTube. So yeah, guys, check it out, the Quitslang Geekcast. All right, let's talk to jams now. Let's jams. Jams. Who is Jams? Why is Jams?
I am Jams. So,
Best answer this
my name is
best
my name is
answer.
Jams. I used to be Dex S on Twitch, which which is a story all on itself. But yeah, no, my real name is Jamil. People call me Jams or Jam, and I wanted to, you know, change my online persona to be like more me, really, because a whole bunch of people would be like, "Is your name Dexter?" It's like, no. So yeah, no, yeah. So I got a whole bunch of that. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, what were the random guesses that people had? Were they like, oh, is it Dextifer? Is it
Dexter.
Just usually Dexter.
Dexter.
Oh.
Just usually Dexter. That was the common one.
Dexter.
But so yeah, there's a story behind that. But like, I don't know, when it was kind of like I had been using the name Dex Cygnus ever since, I don't know, 2006 or 7, whatever. So I thought it was cool. Then when I started streaming, nobody could read it. No one could pronounce it. I was just like, okay, it's not that cool. It's not that cool. And then I had this idea of, like, when I started streaming, that like nobody would know who I am. But then that's not how it works, you know.
Mhm.
Like, people get to know you and stuff. They call you by your real name or your nicknames or whatever. And yeah, so it just sort of made sense for me to change to Jams, because that's who I am. I've been called Jam since I was like a baby. So yeah, so
Aww.
yeah. So yeah, so my name is Jams, pretty much. I'm just you know, your average dude who likes to play games, And yeah, no, I'm probably like I'm one of the like older Twitch streamers around, at least in the Philippines.
Are we gonna give a numeric value to that older? Are we gonna?
Yeah, well, okay, I'm 35, which a lot of people actually don't think I'm 35, but I'm 35, man. I'm
It's the
pretty
Asian-
old.
It's the Asian blood.
Yeah.
It's the Asian skin.
Asian blood.
Yeah, and
You
that's
don't look
funny
a
though.
day over
because
20, honey.
even like other Filipinos. So I was hanging out in one of my buddies' channels a while back, and there was this girl who was there who's also a streamer, and she's been to my channel, and I've been to her channel. We've talked like probably for months, and it was early in the day. It was like, I don't know, 11 in the morning, 10 a.m., something like that. And she was like, "How come you're not in school?" I was just like, "What do you mean? What do you mean?" And she was like, "It's the middle of the day. Shouldn't you be in school?" I was like, "I haven't been in school for like almost like 10 years." No, sorry. Like, it's been more than that, actually. It's been like 15 years or whatever. It's been a long time. Yeah,
Oh, no.
apparently. Apparently. And it's funny, too, because everybody makes fun of my age all the time. I can't, like I'm too old and whatever jokes. I mean, it never ends. So, it's, yeah, kind of funny. Who you, Kuya? Koya.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so so a lot of people apparently, I don't know, do I not look my age? I guess it's also even surprising that somebody who is 35 would spend so much time like playing games, because like all my friends from school and stuff, they all have kids and are boring.
Getting on with the rest of their lives. But
Yeah,
we're
I
still
know,
here
it's just
playing
like-
video games.
But then, like, I mean, like, so, my friends ask me a lot, like, "What are you doing with your life?" And just like, "What are you doing with your life, man? Fuck you." No, no, I mean, it's not typical, but yeah, I think that I'm having a good time and I'm happy, and yeah, so. Yeah, the point of that is that I'm old.
No, and you mentioned earlier on that like you were thinking Dex isn't cool, and now you're saying that your lifestyle isn't cool. Dex, it's cool to you, Jams. It's cool to us. Damn it! All right, it's as long as you're enjoying. All right.
Yeah.
As long as you're enjoying.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I think that being happy and being with what you do on a daily basis is super underrated. People don't realize that it's super important to be happy. I mean, you'd think, right, that everyone would know that, but they don't. Yeah, so no, it's true though. Like those same friends that are like, "What are you doing with your life?" Spend the next like hour complaining about theirs, their lives. So it's just like, don't judge me, man.
Oh man.
funny,
Human fan in
though.
the chat says, "I thought this was a family stream."
Oh no, we are family,
No, I think he's referencing the two
Bro,
F-bombs
they
you've
happy
already
family.
dropped.
I am
Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
fine. It's fine,
It's
Jams.
hard to change my
You're
old
a
man
guest.
ways.
You're a guest. Don't worry about it. We'll
Yeah,
bleep it in
you should-
post. Is what I always
you
say,
should-
but never do.
You should listen to like our earlier shows, man. We had such a hard time adjusting, and we had to like remember every week. Okay, guys, don't curse, don't be foul mouthed. Remember, the soap's in your mouth. It's so hard for us to figure out.
See, Carl Lobster got it right. F is for family.
F is for family.
There it is.
F is for family.
Man.
Dude, I just gotta say, when I was a guest here, oh man, I was dropping the F-bomb non-stop. Oh, yeah. Before I was a host here, I was a guest, dude. I was dropping the F-bomb. I think it was just all. Dude, it's fine.
Yeah, I remember those
See, now I'm a
days.
tame boy now. I only say the S word. S for special. S for special.
Swivel nuts. Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, so Jams, we're talking about your streaming. We're talking about what you do for a living. I want to mention level 4. So what is level 4?
So level 4 is it's a game-inspired apparel brand.
Ooh,
So
I like it.
that's
I like
that
it.
what we say. So basically, we make shirts like based on the games that we like, and by we I mean me and my girlfriend. So like right now we have some PUBG inspired shirts, some Escape from Tarkov inspired shirts. We make caps too, but it's not on the website.
Okay.
Yeah, so the idea was that okay, so it first started out like I was actually talking to Leah in Oknoy and our other friend Prince Ulrich. We were talking to them about like shirts on stream and stuff, and I was like, yeah, I wanna have cool shirts on stream. So I talked to my girlfriend about it. She's like, why don't we make some? And because we do have another apparel brand, actually, it's really hers. I'm just with the sun. And so, I mean, she does everything, but for it. But yeah, so it's like a surf inspired like apparel for girls. Yeah, so we have that brand. So we had all of this knowledge on how to do stuff like that. And she's like, why don't we just make one? No, why don't we just make some shirts? And I was like, okay, let's do it. And so it comes out of like the games that I'm playing, and the idea was I want to wear cool stuff, and yeah, that's where it came from. And then on like second thought, like afterwards, like well, as a streamer, and I don't call myself a full-time streamer, but I stream a lot. But as a streamer, and one of you do it because it's fun and stuff, but in the back of your mind you're thinking like, if I'm putting a lot of money or time into this, you also think about like trying to make a little money too.
Yeah,
and
of course.
yeah, so and here in the Philippines you don't expect that a lot of people they're not gonna be donating a lot of money to you, and they're not gonna be there isn't a lot of money flying around. Like if you're like in the US, even for like a 10-year-old kid or 12-year-old kid, like donating like $2 is nothing. But over here it's like it's 100 pesos. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
There isn't a lot of, in other words, there isn't a lot of money in streaming here. So we thought that this would be a nice little supplemental income, and that's something that you have to think about. And when you look at big streamers, you see it a lot actually. They do things like merch to supplement their income. They do things like obviously like sponsorships and stuff, but merch is really a really good way to supplement your income as a streamer, especially if you're trying to do it full time, which I know a lot of people that are. It's pretty hard to get to a point where you can live off Twitch earnings on their own, and at best it's not stable.
And it's
So,
a slow grind. You're not gonna get there in 3 months. You might not even get there in 3 years. It's
yeah. And even if you get to a point where like you have a couple hundred subs, that can go away really, really quick. It is not stable at all. But having like something like merch and stuff is a good way to cement your brand, and it's a good way to make a little bit of money. And yeah, so these are all things that contributed to the creation of Level 4. The name Level 4 actually was because at the time I was playing a lot of PUBG, and it's like Level 4, so it's like better than Level 3. It's Level 3 is the game.
Level 3 armor.
Like, it's even better than that. So actually, like it's pretty funny because I put it on my stream title, like Level 4 gear coming soon, and I had a whole bunch of people coming in. It's like, really? They're making Level 4 gear in PUBG? I was like, no, we're starting a t-shirt company. But they were talking about it, and it caught their eye, so that was the point. Yeah, so that's kind of the idea. So right now we distribute it here in the Philippines through a local company, and we're looking to set up some distribution abroad. You debated absolutely. Well, yeah, so we it's just only available here in the Philippines right now. I mean, technically it could be shipped abroad, but it's super expensive. So we're setting up distribution abroad, hopefully sometime soon, and we have like more designs and shit coming. Sorry. On the way. yeah, so it was pretty cool. I think though, like, you know, if any of you guys out there are streamers and you're looking to do it like full time, then you have to think about ways to supplement your income, because yeah, it's one of those things though. Like, even if I decide like today, I'm done with streaming, screw this, and you know, then I can still continue doing level 4, and it would you know, it will work. Yeah.
You should have a shirt. Have Dean design like better than level 3, right?
Yeah. There's actually she actually started like 7 or 8 more designs that are like 90% done. It's just not up to her standards yet.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's a whole bunch. There's a whole bunch more like in the works, and there's like a whole bunch of like, you know, streamer jokes kind of stuff, and that we're trying to make. One of the things though that like we're trying to be conscious with was to not like infringe on other people's copyrights. So you see like a lot of people make PUBG shirts and then they'll like literally steal stuff out of the game, or like, you know, and we were trying to be really, really conscious of not doing that.
So no in-game assets printed on the shirt.
Yeah, no in-game assets, because it wasn't about like, because obviously like if we do some stuff like, you know, if we steal some logos out of, I don't know, PUBG, whatever, they'd never know. We'd make some money. I saw some people that like stole like, you know, they had a like a special, it was a shirt that was a winner chicken dinner, had like a pan, and a whole bunch of people took that and printed it, and I was just like, it just doesn't seem right to me. But like, I think that, you know, as anyone who's thinking about doing merch, you got to be conscious of that, because you wouldn't want people to steal your designs, right? So don't steal other people's.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, it's only proper.
Yeah. That's only the right way to do it. Yeah.
What other things can you do apart from merch?
From Ooga Booga, right?
Oh, and the same person
from
Ooga
Ooga
Booga
Booga.
was asking earlier on. So no Fortnite shirts in the level 4 store.
Well, yeah. So the thing is that I never really got into Fortnite because I'm terrible at building. But I never got into it. So the idea was, so the kind of like priority in the shirts was like, so if I played PUBG, I'd wear a PUBG shirt. If I played Escape from Tarkov, I'd wear Escape from Tarkov shirt.
Oh, okay.
You know, so that was kind of like the idea behind it. So although there are stuff that like are generic battle royale, like the 99 Problems one, which works for PUBG or for well, any BR really, and there's some other things in the works too that would work for both. But yeah, no Fortnite shirts specifically. No anime shirts. I'm not actually a huge anime person because like I said, I'm old. When I was growing up, there was not a lot of anime. I grew up in the US, by the way, too.
Yu Yu Hakusho.
So yeah, there was no anime around. So I was never really exposed to it until I came back to the Philippines, and it was all in Tagalog, and I couldn't speak Tagalog. So I'd be sitting there looking at like Dragon Ball and be like,
Eugene.
I don't understand.
It's like when I was watching Ghost Fighter. Eugene. Who's Eugene?
Alfred.
Who's that guy? Alfred. Vincent.
Oh, those are, yeah.
Oh man.
Anyway, though, we're going back to Ooga Booga's question about what can you do aside from merch. Well, there are like, merch is absolutely the most effective thing to do. Yeah, that is 400 pesos. It is absolutely the most effective thing you can do. Partly because you know, you can do it in ways where you don't have to spend a lot of money, and everyone likes shirts and stuff, and everyone likes merch. Everyone wears, you know, shirts, man. Everyone wears shirts. Everyone wears caps. Yeah. So there's a reason to buy it. The other thing that people do is like partner codes, kind of like what the podcast does with Jinx. And the way those usually work is that, like, you know, if you use like Ninja's code or whatever, he'll make a little bit of money off of that sale, right? And they pay him outright, and you know, and then whatever. So that's the other thing. Well, but those only work if you're big enough, first of all, and if people buy. So yeah. like yeah, merch is probably the easiest thing to get into, because there's a lot of companies that you can design stuff and upload it and not have to spend any money, right? So when they make a sale, they'll make some money and you'll make some money. So if they if they make like $10 and you make like $10 or whatever the split is, that's how a lot of sites work, like Designed by Humans and Redbubble, and there's a whole bunch really that do it that way. So merch is a really easy thing to get into as long as you can make designs. Luckily my girlfriend can, because I can't.
I just wear it on stream.
No, so I'll go to her. I'll go to her and be like, I have an idea, and so you can do this, and then it will be kind of have like a thing here, like okay, this cap, right? So this is Scav Army, and in Escape from Tarkov, there are 3 main factions. There are the Bears, which is the shirt, the USEX, and then the Scavs. So Bears and USEX are player factions. Scavs are an AI faction, and they didn't have any type of logo or anything because they're supposed to be scavengers, right? So I had this idea, like, we can make this Scav Army, because that's what people call them. Like, hey, when there's a whole bunch of scavs, be like, Scav Army. Yeah. So we can do that and put like, shotguns or something and stuff. And she's like, okay, that sounds cool, but I'll fix it. And she came up with something completely different. It kind of looks like an army pack.
I'll make it.
Yeah, no, let me
do it.
Yeah, so like I made like overlays and stuff, and I showed it to her all excited. Hey, look what I did, and she's like, I'll fix it. So yeah, point being is I can't design for shit, but luckily my girlfriend can. But yeah, it's absolutely the most effective thing to do, and you can like carry your brand out through like other mediums and help promote your stream that way too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so merch seems good.
And
we need merch, Harold.
We do need merch. We do need merch. And it's been working out from what I've seen. People are starting to hear about Level 4. So because you have this other avenue for just additional income from your stream as well, for other people, to get a better idea, what makes it easier what could make it easier for them, or how could they get started with merch?
Just come up with your design. So I have a buddy he's part of my stream team. We have a new stream team. He's from the UK, and his name is Mr. Atomic Duck. And so he has a duck, like, he had someone design a logo or whatever, and it's also his emote and all that stuff. It's a cool duck. And so he went over to I don't remember which site it was. That's his duck. I put it in chat. So
that's adorable.
Yeah, so it's a really cool duck. And so he went over to a site, like one of those sites like Redbubble or something, and so you just take your design, you upload it, you decide, like, choose which merch you want to put it on. Like, you can do coffee mugs, and you can do shirts and caps and a whole bunch of stuff. And so he put it up, and he has merch. That's it. That's all you really need to do. As long as you have some designs, you can do it that easily. You like upload it gets approved, and depends on the site, but sometimes like a day, sometimes less. And someone orders, they print it, send it out, done. It can be that easy. And then you get, like, at the end of the month or 2 weeks or whatever the terms are, they'll tell you at the beginning, like, what the payout terms are. So then, like, every how many days, you just hit the button and they send the money to your PayPal, and you're good.
Wow.
You just put it in your bank after.
Yeah, exactly.
It sits in your bank, dude.
So it can be super easy if you already have existing assets. Like most people, when they decide to seriously get into streaming, they have assets made or they make them. Things like logos or emotes or whatever. Every has these things. You can just use that stuff, and you don't have to make anything new. If you're able to make like other things, then even better, right?
If you're able to
Excuse
meme
me.
yourself and throw it on a shirt, then even better.
Exactly.
Absolutely, yeah. And the truth is like even I know a lot of like cool dudes who make like emotes and stuff. Like I have a buddy, Sapphire Reg, who made this like cartoon of me, and yeah, they don't charge a lot of money. So yeah, like that dude.
Okay, yeah,
I mean,
oh, is this the one? The Jams G?
Yeah.
Mode?
yeah, it seems
Oh,
good.
that's cool. Themed
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean they don't cost even if you're gonna outsource out making designs. I mean if you can dual purpose something like an emote and then also put that on some merch, and that could be cool. I mean there's a lot of avenues to start it,
Definitely.
to start up doing merch, and you don't even really need to spend very much money. What Uga Booga said, 400 pesos. It's a very cheap shirt.
Yeah.
It's not actually that cheap here in the Philippines. Like for the average Filipino, that's a pretty middle
It's
range
like a
shirt.
day's wage, almost a day's
Yeah.
wage.
So even for a lot of people, that might be expensive for a shirt. It's definitely cheap for people abroad, but the quality is actually pretty nice. I gotta say, I was really skeptical about the quality before I got them, and the quality is pretty nice. I wear them all the time because I
Nice.
like them.
Support,
Yeah.
of course, and you got to show off your brand, of course, especially on the
Yeah.
streams.
That would if they weren't comfortable, then I wouldn't really wear them either.
Yeah.
They're very
True.
comfortable.
Or
And
you can,
the-
or you can put a mannequin in the back, like in the background, just wearing a shirt. Yeah,
You
can do that.
could, yeah.
People do that, just to
People
promote.
do. Yeah,
Yeah.
people do that. But I got the whole green screen thing going because I never cleaned my room. When I started streaming, it was a mess like all the time. So I go to my girlfriend's like, I need to buy a green screen, and she's like, you want to spend more money on your stream? It's like, yeah. It's either that or clean. So come on, really?
Spend money.
Here we go. Oh boy.
No, I'm just kidding. She's actually super supportive. I'm very, very lucky that I have a girlfriend that's like, oh, you want to play games? That's cool. Not many.
I remember you talked about that in one of the, I think when you were guesting on GamerZone, right? Like, when you made the decision to start streaming, right?
So, well, I started streaming back in, I want to say late November, early December last year. And so, yeah, I was streaming. I was streaming most days. I went all the way to like March, I think. Then I took a break. I took a break for a while. Things got really crazy in real life, super busy. Then I was also feeling kind of burnt out and stuff. I mean, I would stream for like, there's some days I'd stream for like 14 hours for like 3 or 4 days in a row.
Yikes!
So yeah, like
Christ.
I just like my mentality back then. It was like, well, if I'm gonna play games, I might as well turn on the stream, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
obviously, it's a lot more draining when because people think that streaming's easy. It's not easy, man. You got to play your game. You got to look at chat. I mean, it takes a lot out of you. It's not just like you're, playing games and that's it. It's a lot of work. Yeah, people don't get it.
that
So
if you just sit down and play the game, it's boring, and no one's going to want to watch that. Streaming, the very essence of streaming is you're watching the person and their personality, and them interact with you, and them be more animated than they would if they were just alone. Like if you watch someone doing what you think is playing video games all day and streaming it live online, that's boring, and no one watches those streamers.
Yeah, I promise you that Ninja, when he makes an awesome shot when he's playing offline, does not jump up and run around the room and dance and do all that shit. No.
Yeah.
Oh, I do,
It's-
but I'm not Ninja.
I mean, sometimes you'll be like, whoa, but most of the time you're just like,
Okay,
I mean, that's what I look
Suck a
like,
loser.
at least. I mean, I don't know. But anyway, so I took a break and I was kind of burnt out. I was super busy. And it was supposed to be a week break, and it ended up being 3 months. yeah, so I was thinking about coming back. Like, I'd still watch a lot of streams and stuff, and I was like, I miss streaming. And so I went through this whole like thought process, like, am I really gonna do this, or or am I not? Because like, I figured like, if I was gonna come back, then I wanted to make a real effort to make the stream good, as opposed to not, I guess, and sort of like also to not care about the numbers so much, and because like my nature is to geek out about things like numbers and stats and yeah, so like a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah, so I sat down with my girlfriend and asked her what she thought and all that. And she was really supportive. She was like, if you want to do this, then go. I'm behind you 100%. And she's really cool about it. Like when I stream, I don't like being interrupted. I don't like like having to stand up and go do something or like disappear for 10 minutes or stuff like that. So I told her, like, if when I'm streaming, I have a little sign on my door that says like, yeah, that basically says go away. I'm streaming.
Is it one of those light up signs, or is it just one that you hang?
Yeah.
No, it's a Asus ROG sign. Actually, it says you shall not pass.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, so came with my motherboard, but anyway, so yeah, so like when I'm streaming, she like makes a really like conscious effort to let me not bother me and stuff, and really lucky because most people, especially my girlfriend's not a gamer. She's not a gamer. She it's not like she's okay because she's a gamer too. It's not that. She just understands that like, if you're passionate about something and she's got to be supportive because that's what you're supposed to do, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm very, very fortunate that my girlfriend is very supportive, and even to an extent like my family, my friends. Like I told you, like I have a bunch of friends who are like, what are you doing with your life? And it's all like other people, but like people that are close to me are all like, oh, that's cool, good luck and stuff. They don't watch, but whatever.
I mean, they're not required to at the very least. So
yeah, no, I mean, just the fact that like most people like like I don't know, like most people I know, like their parents when they say like I'm gonna spend a lot of time streaming, they're like, what? Playing video games?
Oh yeah.
And
you just don't care, Bob.
Yeah, exactly.
Mom, it's 21st
I'm very fortunate to have a lot of people around me that are supportive, and even so much like I said, like the level 4, right? My girlfriend has no interest in these games, and just because I was like, yeah, that would be cool, and she's like super supportive, and she'll put in the time to design shirts and stuff about things that she knows nothing about or has no real interest in, just because she's being supportive. I mean, that's super cool. I mean, I wish everybody could be so fortunate.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
You need to meet more people like you in this world, Dean.
Yeah. Yeah, Jago actually knows her from back in the band days.
Yeah, the rock and roll days.
The rock and roll days.
Back when he had that sick mohawk with the pink highlights. Yeah, I remember those days.
Yeah. Oh, you saw that too. Nice.
Yeah, he had the braided armpit hair. Yeah, that was very metal.
Braided armpit hair with beads.
Guys, chat, don't listen to these guys. They have no idea what they're talking about.
All right. So, guys, do you guys have any questions for Jams?
Oh, I have a suggestion, but not really a question, but more of a suggestion. I saw a while ago that you had this shirt called Winner. It's Winner Adobo Dinner, right? Yeah.
Yep.
I just had an idea. Picture this. Speak to Andoks. Andoks, the chon manok.
Hey!
Roast chicken.
That's a good
Make
idea.
a yellow shirt and make it Winner Andoks Dinner. Boom. Instant success.
Actually, so when we were coming up with the idea for that shirt, so okay, when PUBG was still fairly new, so Filipinos would say a lot like, they call it chicken dinner KFC or Andoks or adobo, or from Cebu they say like lechon or whatever. They say all these things. So we went through all of that actually, and that whole thing about not wanting to use up people's brandings and stuff. And the truth is, like, back then at least, if you went up to Undocs and said like, "Hey, can we, use your branding and stuff?" They'd be like, "What? For a computer game? Are you serious?" They probably still do that now, actually.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, but we had thought about a lot of that stuff actually, and the thing is, like, I don't know, and we end up with adobo because it seemed like a very general Filipino thing.
Yeah,
and
no one has a copyright to adobo, so that's the beauty of
absolutely,
it.
yeah. That would be cool though. I don't know if like things are changing and like companies are becoming more aware of like the influence that games have on society.
it's
maybe-
slowly. I'd say
Slowly, right?
very slowly, but like companies that are not. Oh, here the closest company I know that is getting into the whole gaming scene that isn't directly gaming related would probably be Globe.
But that's they have a stake in that because part of their marketing efforts for their telco is in using your internet for games, using your
Yeah.
phones and
Yeah.
all that. So they do have a stake in it.
Mhm.
You think about like, all right, like in the US, like, okay, I always use Uber Eats. Uber Eats sponsors Ninja, right?
Mhm.
So
Oh,
I don't know what their deal is, but he has a code and they probably send him free food and he probably orders like, "Hey guys, we're gonna get some Uber Eats now," or whatever. I don't really watch Ninja that much, but like, okay, can you imagine Food Panda doing that? Or
Oh yeah.
so this is actually a discussion that I've had multiple times with people, with like Ramen Style, because he orders Food Panda like every day and stuff.
Wow.
And more recently, I was actually talking to my girlfriend's sister, who is she is a advertising agency. She is the like creative director right now for her agency. And so I was talking to her about Twitch and stuff, and she was really interested in the idea that like she could bring this other way of like advertising to companies, and they might be interested in something like that. But it's still like, okay, she's a fairly young person, and even in her mind, she was like, "What's Twitch? That's a thing,
Yeah.
game streaming."
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
so it's a very new concept. So we might be getting there, but maybe not yet. Maybe soon, hopefully. But
I'd like to add to that actually about the same thing with ad agencies. I was speaking to someone from an ad agency about the whole gaming craze now, as in companies. She didn't say which ones, but companies are really telling the agencies, "Can you cater these videos, this material that we want to make to gamers specifically?" And like, wow, like the landscape's kind of changing with that. But the thing is like, my personal thought on it is that it's so hard to cater stuff to gamers because, okay, we're gamers, but you have to admit that like if it's gaming related and if someone who is not in it tries to show you something, and if you don't get it right, we're so nitpicky about it. The mere fact that the Warcraft movie was the greatest movie ever, but everyone nitpicked it, even though it was great, right? So like that's how that's how shallow and that's how nitpicky gamers can be if something that's catered to them isn't the way we want it, which is the hard part as well.
there is an answer to that though, and this is the part that people aren't getting at. That the way to bridge that gap is you don't have an ad agency make some content. You get some streamers to tell their viewers, "This is cool shit."
Yeah.
You use influencers, right? So like, I assure you, when Ninja says like, this mouse is really cool, or this company, or Shroud with his coffee, people go and buy it just because they say,
Yeah.
that's it. That's how you target to gamers. I mean, you're not going to be able to turn I don't know. I can't think of a product right now.
Gillette
Vita Water or something.
Vita
It's
Water.
Vita Water. Okay, no, actually, yeah,
Water.
there was a discussion I had about water actually on stream because of I was talking about the hydration bot.
Oh boy.
So anyway, so let's say Vitawater. You're not going to be able to, market Vitawater to gamers. There's just no way to spin it except for getting some influencers to say like, this water's really good, man. You should go get some. Yeah. That's the only way you're going to do it. I mean, that's it. That's the only way to market the gamers, unless you have something that's kind of related, like maybe Globe. And you got like Gloco to say like, yeah, we use PLDT because it's the best and it's stable and all. I mean, that's the only way. I mean, arguably, whoever argued that PLDT was stable, okay, nobody ever. Anyway,
Nobody ever said that.
Yeah.
Nobody ever
says
said that.
that.
Even PLDT's like, oh, it's a 70%.
With 80%
uptime guaranteed.
reliability.
Yeah, reliability. Yeah,
Percent reliability.
Oh my god.
Even PLDT, like the physical stores, their YouTubes are buffering. Like when you're waiting and you're watching the YouTube, you're like, oh, okay, so this is in PLDT, so it's supposed to be fast. It's buffering. So you already know that even they know that it's not that good. No offense, PLDT. Still love you guys.
No offense. I'm still running on you,
Truth,
so please
though.
don't disconnect me.
Yeah.
No, the truth though is that I've used a lot of different ISPs, and I always come back to PLDT, man, because they are the best of the worst for me right now.
Best of the worst.
Best of the worst.
Lord.
Great way. Cheers to that.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously there's a lot to be improved, but it also is like really reliant on like your location. I think we
that's
all know
true.
that. It's true for like there was a time where like we switched to Globe at home and it was really, really crap. And then but then my buddy who lived in Makati was like, Globe is the best and PLDT is absolute crap here. So I mean it's obviously it all should be fixed. By the way, did you guys hear about this new telco?
Yep.
The third one. Yeah, another one coming.
Third one.
Yeah.
No, but they announced some details about it earlier
Oh.
today actually.
Like,
You didn't hear about this?
Ooh.
It's,
No.
actually, it's owned by Manny Villar. They were approved to put up a internet gateway. So, if you don't know, the way that it works is we have lines that come into the country, right? And they go into these gateways. So, I don't know what the current ones were or are, but for sure, PLDT has one. I believe Globe has one, and there's probably some others. But everyone else buys from them. So, like, I believe I heard that Converge goes through one of them. Like, I think it's PLDT.
I think
Not
we go
really
through
sure.
PLDT, yeah.
Yeah, they go through the gateway. So, a lot of the problems actually that happen with our internet service is within their PLDT servers when they're trying to optimize their performance, and that's where you get like cut. So, like, yeah, like Converge. If they bought they buy bandwidth, they wouldn't go through that. They go straight to the gateway and get from there, right? So it uses PLDT's connection, but doesn't go through all their PLDT crap. So but yeah, if we have another gateway, that could be something really, really interesting.
It could be crisp internet.
Well, what I hope is remember that time that Australian brand was supposed to come in. I forgot what it was called.
Oh, Telstra.
Telstra.
Yeah,
Telstra.
and
Yeah.
as soon as like things were heating up about Telstra, for some reason PLDT decided to boost up their speed. Everyone did because they were threatened. And like, well, if this third one comes in and proves to be better, or like is looking better, I hope that causes at least the ones we're using now, if ever it doesn't push through because of whatever happens. I hope that they boost it even more again because like, I guess we gotta make it better now.
Yeah. But
Yeah, what's interesting with the ISP discussion actually is what is the real source of the problem? Because is it that obviously we have limitations because of like where we are and stuff, and our routing, it goes to Hong Kong, then it jumps to Japan, then goes to the US and all that. Interesting enough though to do that. There's a website that shows all the fiber optic undersea cables all over the world, and we have direct connections to California, by the way.
So, yeah.
yes, we
Yeah, we do.
I've seen that.
I think there's some of those are owned by Google.
Oh.
Yeah, so maybe Google Internet someday, or Google Fiber.
Google
whatever.
Fiber would be a
Anyway.
dream.
Google Net.
They don't even cover all of San Jose. I just got to say
Yeah.
that right now. So it could be a long time. My buddy who lives in San Jose, literally lives across from eBay, was having internet problems. I'm like, you're in San Jose. Why don't you just get Google Fiber? And he's like, they don't offer it. It's like, what? Really? Okay. Anyway.
Oh man.
Wow.
Yeah. The question is PLDT just screwing us because they can, or is there a real limitation out there? Because yeah, they're upgrading like every so often. They upgrade their service and stuff.
Yeah.
But is that just because of network upgrades that are happening, or because we don't know, man? Like honestly, I'm a computer science major, and I don't really understand how, like, I don't know how an ISP is set up in terms of hardware, and they may need to significantly upgrade their hardware piece by piece to give us these improvements that we're getting. So maybe it's not all because they're evil people. Maybe it's because we don't know. Maybe they are.
Maybe.
I
Just saying.
Yeah. I actually have some insight about that. If I may, gentlemen. The reason why a lot of I think I mentioned this in one of the episodes, I think last year. But then the thing about our country and how our system is set up is that our infrastructure has to be built from the ground up by those specific companies. Unlike in other countries, like for example Hong Kong, Singapore, or other countries with super lightning fast internet, those are all government subsidized. Those are all government maintained. So they're really crisp, really good, well maintained lines, and that the companies would just get from them. And our story is that everything is privately owned. I mean, look, even the expressway. We have an expressway that's privately owned by the same makers of the.
That is a fair point.
That is a good point.
That is a fair point. I have long maintained that our public transportation system would be so much better if it was centralized and owned by the government instead of owned by all these private companies.
Amen. Amen to that.
Yeah, so it makes perfect sense. It could also go both ways, shouldn't it? Though, because if it's okay. So on one side, the countries you mentioned, Hong Kong and Singapore, those are really small countries.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are really small countries. I mean, the government wouldn't need all that much money to, lay out fiber optic cables all throughout that city. Yeah, because it's basically a city. It's a big city.
It's not really. Yeah.
But from what I know, I'm not 100% sure if I remember right. I feel like in the U.S., that companies have to lay it all out themselves too. Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But it's a fair point. If the government could lay out fiber lines and all of that, and if they could do that, then and rent it out to everybody, maybe it would be better. For sure, it's a giant mess right now. I mean, you just have to look up at a.
Yeah.
Tapang King in chat has some chimes in on this. Like the different problems and inconsistencies on connection relies on how infrastructure was laid out, and it follows up with the private companies was not regulated for standards because money.
Money.
For sure.
Yeah. Think about this. You guys see those telephone and electric lines that are just
yung mukhang spider web.
It looks like a freaking spider web.
Yeah, yun pala.
That's basically how we try to upgrade. Is basically adding more lines rather than removing the lines and then placing it in a better place where it could be well maintained. They just cut off the old line and make a new one, and they leave the old one.
Yeah. I actually had an interesting class a long time ago, many years ago, about how the way that we try to improve things is to just build on top. Just do that. That's why our EDSA looks the way it does, because you keep trying to build shit on top, and it goes with phone lines too. And the other thing people don't realize is that when you there is interference between cables, signals can interfere with each other. So when you have that mess of spider web phone lines with electrical and cable and all of that, there's they can create slowdowns in the lines, right?
I believe we are all in agreement.
like
it's
people-
infrastructure. It's
Yeah,
really
it's infrastructure. I mean, to an
Agreed.
extent, for sure, it is infrastructure. No, I'm just curious too, because like suddenly, like you think about a few years ago where, like getting 50 Mbps was like, what? And now 50 is pretty much like the standard for fiber. And now they're offering up to like I think I've seen one gig already being
Oh, 1
offered
gig,
for
yeah.
a ridiculous price, but still they're capable
20,000 pesos for
was
a
it
month.
only 20,000?
It's 20,000 pesos a month.
I remember
1
seeing it
gig.
for more.
Oh,
Well,
really?
okay, there is something else though that we have to think about though, is that if they made, let's say 1 gig, right? If they made that cheap enough that a lot of people could get it, maybe they wouldn't be able to support it either. Maybe
Yeah.
their way of because of their lack of infrastructure, because of whatever. I mean, maybe that's something too. And they're slowly upgrading us because, like, I don't know, like starting at like maybe you start at 20 and then it went up to 30 and 40 or 50, whatever.
50.
Because they're more capable of supporting more people on that. Because the other thing is that let's say that they opened up all of our internet right now to 200 Mbps, and then all our internet got shitty because they're not able to support it, then we'd all be pissed too, right?
Mhm.
Probably.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
just waiting for
I don't know.
just waiting for PLDT Fiber to call me one day and go, "Congratulations, sir! You are eligible for an upgrade to 100."
They would
Mbps."
never do that. They have never
Hey,
done that in the past.
They did that when I first got fiber. It was at 8 Mbps, I think.
Yeah, that was the one with
That
that was the
standard.
Telstra-
And then they
that
go,
was the Telstra
"Sir,
thing.
congratulations! You are eligible for an upgrade to 20 Mbps." I'm like, "Oh, what do I have to do?" "Nothing, sir. Just don't disconnect it." I'm like, "Okay." And then
Yeah,
I love
someone's
all the
at
way
the
to
door.
50.
Yeah. So when I switched to fiber here at my condo, I was on a DSL plan, right? I was on
Oh, yeah.
I think it was 10 or 15 Mbps. I don't remember, something like that. And which was more expensive than the 50 Mbps fiber plan. So I went and I had to go to the office and switch and everything, and they kept calling it a downgrade. I was like, I am paying less money for way more speed.
Yeah.
If you want to call it a downgrade, fine, but it's whatever.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I have a story for that. Like,
Well, we'll get to that story at a different time, guys. We are
Yeah.
over time.
Yeah.
Sadly,
Segue.
we are way over time, and we had a lot of news to talk about. We'll save it for next show. Jams, I do want to get into a really quick bit. I think we could spare like 5 minutes for this because I know you wanted to talk about World War III, and I would be remiss if we didn't talk about it. So I would love to get into it real quick, guys. It's time for This Week in Video Games.
This week in video games.
Yes, this week. Oh, why is it that? Sorry, let me change that. All right, guys. This week in video games, guys. Jams, I know you wanted to talk about a specific game that you've been playing recently, and again, like I said, it'd be a crime not to talk about it. So, Jams, what is that game that you want to talk about?
Yeah, so World War III went into early access earlier this week. Well, technically last week, but they had launch problems all throughout the weekend. So it started
man.
like became really playable like on maybe Sunday night, Monday.
Okay.
It's called World War III. So it's slightly futuristic. I think it's set in like 2026. It's kind of like Battlefield, that same size maps, about the same number of people. You have vehicles and modern equipment. Yeah, and you go in and do stuff. Right now, there's one game mode. It's kind of like is it domination, I think, in COD, where you have points. You have to hold like the points, kind of like that, but conquest. Yeah. So
Ooh.
is it conquest? Oh, whatever. So there's 6 points in this game. 6 points, and you go and you hold it. You earn points up until someone wins.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So it's a pretty common type of game mode, except there's 6 points instead of 3. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty fun. Performs reasonably well for an early access game. Gunplay is pretty fun. It's hard. So there's a lot of recoil on the guns. Not as much as like Counter-Strike, like CS:GO. Not as much as like that. But there's it makes like a little bit of challenges of low time to kill. The guns are customizable. You can change like there's a whole bunch of different sights, different grips, different like hand guards, different stocks. There isn't a story behind it just yet. It's early access. But it's basically East versus West. That's the whole thing. There's like a world map with like score, I think, of depending on like who's winning the multiplayer games. Right now, this point where it's at, it has all equipment available to both sides. So you can use like an Alted helmet, which is, if you don't know what that is, that's like the level 3 helmet in PUBG.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's called an Alted helmet. It's actually the helmet for the Spetsnaz. Yeah. So it's a Russian helmet. You can use that or like fast MTs or a whole bunch of different stuff. You can change like the armor plating that you want in your tactical rig, if it's like steel or ceramic or whatever, so that affects your weight and stopping power of the bullets, obviously. And all sorts of stuff. It's really, really customizable. You can change a lot of stuff in it. It's fun, dude. And the best part about it is that it's pretty cheap for what it is.
Ooh.
It's like you're getting all. I'm not going to say exactly like Battlefield, but a very comparable game. For like here, it's 800 pesos, $15. Internationally, it's $30, so it's not expensive. Thing is, there are bugs. It's early access, guys. I mean, there's so many people complaining, and it's early access. Obviously, there are
like
bugs.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, it's for first week early access. Did you see PUBG in this first week of early access? Oh my god, dude! Graphics are plenty nice. Performance is plenty good for that. Like, I honestly didn't notice any desync at all in the game, which is pretty impressive for me. Yeah, it performs reasonably well. Although I have a pretty monster PC, but I get over 100 FPS always in the game.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Good.
I heard something about the game, like when it comes to the physics. Okay, so like, in any game convention, in a conventional shooter games, when you shoot the head, it's a headshot. But this one, and like if they have a helmet and you still shoot them in the head, they get hit. But in this one, Level Cap Gaming said this, that if you shoot the helmet falls off and it doesn't exactly hit their head. You have to shoot the face, like literally the skin of the head.
I'm not sure about the hitboxes, but the helmets do fly off when you shoot them. But I'm not sure if there's a face hitbox, which is a thing in other games like EFT. So like the helmet only protects the places that it. So like you shoot here, it hits the helmet. You shoot here, it hits the face. So I'm not sure if they have a face hitbox. So there isn't a lot of information about that just yet. But I know for sure, like if you shoot the chest, like where the armor plate is, it will hit the armor. But if you shoot the stomach, it will go through and hit them straight in the stomach. So that's a thing. I actually think that's something that needs balancing, because it's way too easy to kill someone shooting them in the stomach.
Oh yeah.
So,
I mean, that's so unrealistic, though.
I mean, okay, so like I have this argument all the time with people about like realism versus in games, and it's like, let's face it, guys. If a game was realistic, it wouldn't be fun.
Yeah,
definitely.
exactly.
You wouldn't have
If
RPGs
you get shot,
and slashers.
If you get shot in an armor plate, you're gonna fall down. You're not gonna be able to keep on running. You're gonna get knocked over. You're probably gonna have a hard time breathing for a little bit. It's
No one in a real war, no one presses W. I swear.
Yeah.
So.
Oh.
Okay. So anyway,
when remote controls are used, Diego, W is essential.
There's actually the other thing that's cool is there is a lot of like, so like unlike Battlefield, as you play through the game, you earn these points, right? And you can spend these points on what would be sort of like your score streak type things. You can call in a UAV, a little drone. You can call in a tank or a vehicle that you can drive around. Call in like a JDAM or Hellfire missile strike, and there's a whole bunch of different stuff. It's all customizable. It's really cool, man. It's a really highly customizable, super fun game. It's completely worth checking out. I mean, it's cheap and it's early access. That's why there's an adrenaline shot. Yeah, but
So where would people find this? Is this on Steam?
it's on Steam. It's on Steam. World War 3. The game is pretty cool, and I think that there is a policy on Steam. I'm not 100% sure, but like if a game's early access, I think you can refund it like for longer if you don't like it. I don't know. Maybe. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. I sort of read that somewhere. Okay, but yeah, it's a cool game. It just launched.
Yes, everyone, check it out on Steam. World War 3. Thank you, Gems. I'm looking forward to trying it out myself. And unfortunately, that's the end of the show. Gems, we have so much left to talk about, and I hope that means you'll come back on the show.
Yeah, sure, man. Anytime. Just let me know.
Excellent.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it very much.
It was our pleasure.
It was all ours. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So real quick, guys, we want to give shout outs to everyone in the chat, Uknoy and the rest of the fan club. You guys are all awesome. I appreciate how everyone was just chatting away. We love having new people in the chat, and we love having your fan club here, James. Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Carlos, to Tapang King, who showed up eventually. And you guys are all awesome. Bimby, I think, was in there earlier as well.
Yeah, he was.
Booga. Yeah, a vocalist, I think, was there. But yeah, thank you guys. Thank you everyone for stopping by. I want to thank all our most recent followers. Oh, Leah Girl as well. Yes, of course. I want to thank all our most recent followers: Red Rosie 200, Abdul447, Daniel R. I think that's a double O and not 2 zeros. Dim the Lights Gaming, Glitch213 _, Mr. Awesome 7123 _ gaming, Cowboy 09770. I hope I say this right. Ties Ray 13, Vin MD 27, and Lost _ recalculating. You guys are all awesome. Thank you for the follows, and we hope you continue to check out our stuff. Thank you to all our most recent subs, and of course our top subs. Miku P with 5. But of course, Human Panda, who's in the chat as well, has gifted so many that our display, our Streamlabs display, isn't showing it. But Human Panda, you deserve to still be, number one in our hearts, just like Miku P. Sensei Humor, my co-host, is also one of our top subs. DZ was our number 1 sub, our very first sub ever, so we can't thank him enough. Gabe Bruges, that Fury Bot guy, who's a very close second to DZ. Salon Chen, so _ sick. Elder Jin, who we'll look to have on the show before the end of the year. Our top bitchier, as we mentioned, Elder Jin. Nerf Diva coming in behind him. Nope _ plays. If not now, Gwen, Mercy, Tita Gaming's, Insta DZ, Aaron Gaming, Clark Q Plays, and Cloud Goon. You guys are all awesome. DZ man, are we forgetting anything? I feel like I'm forgetting something.
I think you missed out Archer on the sub.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, Archer Perez.
Yeah.
Archer was in the chat last week as well, I think.
Oh,
or
yeah,
was it yesterday? Yeah.
Yesterday over at the qualifiers.
Oh, okay. He's also on the Geekcast. That guy is everywhere now. That guy's everywhere. Oh, man. Check him out, guys. Archer Perez. Yeah, the dude. Let's see. What else are we missing? Oh, Jams, man. Jams. Tell the people watching us, of course, the people who aren't part of your fan club yet and want to join, where can they find you outside of shows like GameByte?
Yeah, so you guys can visit me over at twitch.tv/jamstm. I got my socials up there. It's jamstm on Twitter. Don't really use Facebook very much. So yeah, I have an Instagram too that I try to upload to. Jams _TTV. And yeah, on Steam, just my old name, Dex Cygnus. Yeah, I'd much appreciate it if you guys drop by, say hi. I'm generally friendly most of the time. Try not to bite too much.
Let me bring that up.
Oh, sorry.
That works. All right, check him out, guys. Jams has been awesome. It's been a pleasure to have you on the show, dude. And again, we look forward to having you on in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for the invite.
Oh, dude, come on. It was so fun having you on. Let's see. Mick, man, where can people at home find you when you're not on GameByte?
When I'm not on GameByte, you can find me on Twitter. That is at the FuryBot. You can finally find me on Instagram, which is also at the FuryBot. And aside from that, you can find me on Tweet. That stream is I keep forgetting. It's called Twitch. Yeah, you can
Tamago, Mick. It's pronounced Tamago.
Tamago. Okay. But yeah, I have a Twitch channel. I streamed like once or twice with Diego back in the Ragnarok days when it re-released. So I'm not gonna plug that. But
well, you just
if
did.
You're wondering, but if you're wondering, you can follow me there at twitch.tv/thefurybot where I'm
not.
Yeah, but that's basically it for me. If aside from those, you can find me here every Wednesday, 9:30 p.m. Philippine time, 5:30 a.m. California time. The GameByte podcast. So Diego, where can find folks at home find you when you're not on GameByte?
Oh, you're muted, buddy.
You're muted.
La. There we go. There we go. Right. So, if you guys want to find me on when I'm not here, you can check out my Twitch, which is twitch.tv/InstaDZ. This week gonna be pretty busy, so I don't know if I'll be able to stream much. But yeah, in other socials, you can find me on Instagram. That's at InstaDZ. That's InstaDeezee. Also, if you guys need any videos made for your commercials or film, whatever, you can check out www.diegoz.com.
Yes.
Yeah. So, how about you, Harold? Where can folks at home find thee?
When you're not on GameByte.
You guys can check me out on the Quit Stalling Geekcast every. Oh man, it's supposed to be Mondays, but it keeps flip-flopping because of Juancho and Derek. Next week on Tuesday, 11 a.m. Philippine Standard Time. That's about 8 p.m. California time. Throughout the next few days, the next Thursday, Saturday, next week Tuesday, and the Saturday after that, me and Diego Z, like we mentioned, will be shoutcasting on Facebook.com/PlayOnWASD. We'll be casting the second round of the Plus Attack qualifiers for the Plus Attack event in November. So guys, check it out. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Actually, it starts at 8 p.m. every night. Thursday, Saturday, Tuesday next week, and then Saturday next week. It starts at 8 p.m., ends at around midnight. We got a lot of Southeast Asian teams and one Korean team competing for the top prize. So check us out there. Like Diego and Mick, I'm here weekly for GameByte. Every Wednesdays at 9:30 p.m. Philippine Standard Time, 5:30 a.m. California time, until daylight savings time, strikes again and everything gets moved. I think it's forward this time. No, moves back. So yeah, check us out every week. And of course, we are, you can find me specifically at Harold Plays on Twitter, Instagram, and on twitch.tv/HaroldPlays. We are on social media, so facebook.com/quitstallingus, or we're also on Twitter at quitstallingus. You can find us on Instagram at quitstalling. You can find all the videos on demand on youtube.com/quitstalling. And of course, if you hit the videos tab here on Twitch, twitch.tv/quitstalling. If you like what you've seen, hit the follow button, cheer us on with some bits, or hit that subscribe button as well. Don't forget to check out Jams, guys. Jams is the man. Twitch.tv/JamsTV. And of course, the podcast, GameByte itself, is on Spotify. So just search for GameByte. That's GameByte. Check us out on all the podcatchers that are out there on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Pocket Casts, and so much more. This has been an amazing show. We will have a very brief after show because I do have to go somewhere, but we still have to have Jams. This is a surprise for Jams, but Jams, you're going to have to pick someone for us to host and raid during the after show. So now would be a good time to check it out. But guys, till next time, we'll be back next week. Not next week. No show next week because it's Halloween.
2 weeks.
It's Halloween.
2 weeks.
We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Same Byte time, same Byte channel. Till then, though, get off your butts and quit stalling. We'll see you guys next week. Bye, everybody. Bye.